Hi there, Mark here again. Welcome to this video, which is the final part of my Subaru Impreza Monte Carlo 99 build on the TT02 chassis, where we're going to be sorting out the bodywork. So eventually this body is going to be fitted to this modified TT02 chassis. If you haven't seen the videos, I've got a couple of how I've modified this to run off-road with extra suspension travel and ground clearance and lots of other little mods. I'll put a link up to that here. But for now we're going to concentrate on getting this polycarbonate shell cut out. So the first thing we need to do is have a quick look at the instruction sheet that comes with it. And what we're looking at here is where we're going to cut out. So basically we're only going to do one cut, because if you cut it wrong there's no going back, so just make sure you know exactly which lines you're going to cut to. And I've just checked here and it looks like on the back there is like a recess in the rear bumper, so we're going to have to cut that bit out. But the front, it looks like it is a straight cut along the front bumper. So for that we're going to need either a scalpel or a hobby knife. But for this one I'm going to use my trusty favourite pair of stainless steel scissors. The sharper the better. These are for the long cuts, and I always use a little pair of stainless steel nail scissors for the wheel arches, because on this Tamiya body shell they're not pre-cut for us like they sometimes are. So the first thing I always do is get rid of this lip that's all the way around. It just gets in the way, so just get the big scissors and snip that off. So now that's out the way, and do save that bit of lexan because it might come in handy for repairs and so on. It's much easier to get to these lines, and you can see quite clearly the line we're going to cut to. Obviously the wheel arches are nice and clear, and there's that recess we're going to cut into on the rear bumper. So now just cutting as close as I can to that line without going over the line, and we'll finish off by rubbing that down with some abrasive paper just to make it nice and smooth. Now we'll have a quick go at these wheel arches with my curved nail scissors. Again, steady as she goes. So that's not looking too bad for a first cut. As I said, I'm going to get some wet and dry paper and just smooth that edge off. So that's all the cutting out done. Just a couple of little notes. That bit that I said there where you cut out that recess on the rear bumper, that is really quite tricky. This is the piece that came off it. I don't know if you can see. It's like paper thin, so that really is quite tricky to get cut. It's flapping about all over the place, but a bit of perseverance there and you'll get there. And the other one is, if you look at the instructions, it just shows one clear line to cut for the wheel arches, whereas in reality when you look at it, and hopefully it'll come across here, there is kind of two lines. There's the outer line and then there's an inner line that I've cut to, which just leaves a lip, and I recommend that you do leave that lip because it makes the body a lot stronger and a lot more resistant to ripping on that wheel arch. And in fact, hopefully we can see here, if you look closely on the box art, you can just about see that they have actually left a lip on the box art as well. Hopefully that's coming across. So I think that's the right way to do it. So what I'm going to do now is just go and smooth all this off, wash out the inside with some soapy water, and then it's time for the window masks. Cut out the window masks, and as it suggests, cut out a thin strip from the backing, so I can hopefully get one lined up into place, press down on that centerpiece and then peel it off. Well, that's the plan anyway. So let's have a go at this big front one. Just get it lined up so it looks equal all the way around, so the gap is about the same as best you can. Then push down on that center strip. Just check again. It's looking about as close as I'm going to get it, I think. So we'll do one side at a time, obviously. Just turn that over and just press the edges down. And the same for the rest of the window masks. Okay, so now we're ready for paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray 2 or 3 coats of this lovely PS16 metallic blue. Then I'm going to back that with a bit of silver, and as my good friend Pete Wiley said to me, you spend so much money on one of these kits, don't slack off with a bit of paint. So I'm going to then back that with black, so it's all nice and dark on the inside. So here we go. The blue and the silver have got on quite well, no problems at all. So that's ready for that coat of black just to seal it all in. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Looks okay. We'll see even better when we get the protective film off. And at the same time as doing that, I've got the rear wing, and I blew over that with the PS16. It does come in a kind of metallic plastic. There's a metallic kind of finish on it, but it's not exactly the same colour as the PS16, so I've blown that over here. You can probably see there's a few scratches where I've rubbed it down with a wet and dry, but what I'm going to do now, just to seal that in, because it won't stay on very well, as it's not really designed for hard plastic, I'm going to just blast over that with some clear lacquer, and that should hopefully seal that in. So there's the two halves of the wing in the PS16. And while I'm waiting for all this to dry and the black to dry, we get two sticker packs with this body. You got the Day Glow yellow there, and the normal stickers for the body. So I'm going to start cutting them out, as I said, while that's drying, and just to make sure, I will be writing the number of the sticker on the back so that I don't get mixed up. So let's just get this black on. And as you can see, the wing looks so much better with that clear lacquer applied. Nice and glossy now, and it's got rid of all those scratches. So yeah, that's ready to go. So that's the black applied to the inside. We'll take the window mask off in a second. As you can see, I've been busy cutting out the stickers or decals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do as usual. I'm going to start at the front. So I've just got the numbered stickers there, and I've put them out kind of in the order or in the layout as they're going to be on the front of the car. Make it easier for me to put them on. So yeah, that's all that ready to go. So we're just going to get this window mask off, let's hope. As usual, these Tamiya window masks are fantastic. They don't leave any residue, as you can see, and there's very little bleed, if any at all. So yeah, that's coming off really nicely. Nice clean lines. Yep, so all of the windows look fine. So now for my favourite part of any body shell job is after the spraying is peeling off that protective coating, and we finally get to see what the paint looks like for real. I love this bit. Here we go, look at that. Lovely and shiny. Makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's come out pretty nice. I'm not going to peel it all off, I'll just peel the bit off the bonnet and the front end to keep all my fingerprints and any grease off the rest of the body while I just get the front bit done. So yeah, we'll get on with these stickers. Get this bigger grill sticker. What I always do first is do a test fit, so just make sure it fits where it needs to go. You need to check the instructions. Yep, so that's cut out enough, it fits in the gap. And for the larger stickers like this, I always cut the end off, just a small piece, and like that. Get it in the right place and stick that little piece down. So yeah, looks about right, so push that down, and then we'll just peel the backing off and slowly push across like so. Right, to get in here and push the edges down properly, I always use a cotton bud, so that's a useful thing to use to make sure the edges are pressed down. And the other useful thing is one of these cloths for cleaning glasses or spectacles with, because it's lint free. Give it a good push down with that, and then just finish off in the corners with the cotton bud. That's how I do it anyway. It seems to go pretty well. So I always enjoy getting the first one put on. It looks like we're making some inroads into this body now. So if I show you everyone like this, it's going to take hours. So what I'll do is I'll fast forward and I'll just explain if I find any difficult parts or have got any tips on the way. So as I said, just going to put these on as they're laid out there. For the smaller stickers like this little STI sticker, what I tend to do is peel the backing off completely and then use a hobby knife. I'll just show you. Make sure your knife's clean, just stick it onto the hobby knife like so, and then what I'll do is get this one in there, something like that I think, and then just give it a press. Yep, looks about right. And these are some of the better Tamiya stickers that I've come across, because I am able to lift these off and reapply them if I'm not quite happy with the position. So yeah, don't worry if you get it slightly wrong. As I said, they do lift back off okay. They're quite flexible. I've had some that are much more brittle than these in the past, so I've just lifted that back off and get that just in the right place. Yep. So this is just the tricky part here where the light decal is cut. Just need to get the one side down first and then fold the second half over the top of the first. And just to make sure this Monte Carlo decal is in the right position and lined up straight, so what I've done is I've just got my ruler and I've lined it up with these mouldings on the body so that it's straight. Get that as in the middle as best I can and get it lined up with the ruler so it's in a straight line. And just stick the end down that I've cut off. And hopefully that's lined up correctly now. I'll put that one on first so I can get the this area so I know where the bigger sticker's got to go next, which is this sticker number 49. I think the key thing here is to get this lined up as straight as you can along to the front of the bonnet. So it needs to be kind of parallel with that edge of the bonnet. And yeah, looking at the manual, we're in about the right place. So I'm happy with that. As you can see, I've taken off as much as of the clear plastic backing as I can without going crazy. You could cut all the individual little stars out on this if you wanted to, but I think that would take far too long. And with a good rub down, it doesn't look too bad. So yeah, with the clear plastic sections, if you don't get a really good contact with the body and the body isn't really clean, then you will see a kind of mottled kind of whitish effect where the clear plastic is. But like I say, give it a good press down and then good contact with the body, and it looks pretty good anyway. And then just watch out for these, they're 21 and 22. They look the same, but they are different. This A here in the blue circle points towards the front of the car, so make sure you get those the right way around. As you can see, they are different. So we'll try and get this one lined up, and then we've just got to be careful to push it into this recess in the body line there. So steady as she goes with this one. Using a bit of doweling to push it into that that groove. It looks okay before we press the rest on. And again, for this sticker number 46, you can see I've cut out most of the clear background. Makes it a bit tricky to put on, but it will look better if we get it right. So it looks somewhere near according to this diagram, so we'll try and get this in place now. Again, we've got that recess here in the bodywork that we need to make sure we get the sticker into that, or else it won't look right. This one needs to come up a little bit. And also this one. Yep, I'm happy with that. On sticker number 17, again, just cut round the window there with a scalpel, and I'm going to remove most of that clear plastic because it spoils the look of the window, I think. Just take that off. Okay, there it is. We'll get rid of that, and we'll get this in place. If you look really carefully, you can see in the body the lines where these black outer edges need to go. They are very faint, but they are there, so we'll just get it somewhere near. Let's get this corner piece stuck down. And then we'll take the backing off. So all I need to do now is attach the rear wing. I've already put the stickers on the side and the 4 tiny screws that hold the two halves together. So yeah, we're just going to fit that on, and that's the bodywork done. And the last little job I've done before this car's finished is, I hope you can see in this light, is to spray the wheels with some gold paint. So this is just some multi-purpose gold metallic, and there's the standard wheel. I think it has got a kind of a slight metallic finish to the plastic, but I think it looks a bit too brown, and I think that now with a bit of gold spray on it should make it look like the real car, or more like the real car did with the bright gold wheels. So I haven't put any primer on this or undercoat, so if it does chip, which it probably will, at least the colour underneath is similar, so it shouldn't look too bad. I just gave them a quick flat over with a scouring pad and sprayed that on, so if it chips off I can easily rub it flat and spray it again. And so finally then, here it is finished. I'm really happy how it's turned out. As you can probably see there, I've fitted my cockpit that I'd done before for another Subaru body. So that's the Tamiya cockpit for a rally in there. You can see the drivers through the windows, and the wheels are looking good in that bright gold. I've got quite a gap, as you can see, above the wheel arches, but that does look better when it's sat down on the suspension and it compresses up into the wheel arches. So I'll just show you from the side and you'll see how it looks. As you can see, there's quite a bit of room above the wheels there, but if we push it down, we just about get enough clearance on the front, and the body doesn't touch the floor, just about on the front, and the same at the back. So that's all good, and I think it looks rather nice when it's compressed a little bit and it's sitting squat down on that suspension. And yeah, not a bad looking Subaru at all. So all I can say now is thanks very much for following along. I hope you join me on the first run, and let's see how this rally car performs after all these modifications. I'm really looking forward to it, but I've got to admit, I really have grown to love this thing now, and I really do not want to scratch up this beautiful bodywork, but maybe I'll just have to drive it a little bit carefully. We'll see about that. Anyway, thanks again, and I hope you join me on the next one. Bye.